Hi, family. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Hello, and welcome back. Hi, family, and welcome back to Thinking Thanks Tuesdays with me, Zoliswa, or Xhosa Chick, wherever you want to call me. And yeah, family, we're back again with another current affairs, trending news, online news, what's happening in our courts, what has caught our eyes with the news. So we're bringing you the juice in the news. Oh gosh, that sounds so boring. So, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome back, family. And thank you for all the love and the support, and also thank you for the growth as well in the channel. I really appreciate that. And like any other week on our Thinking Thanks Tuesdays, we deal with the usual news, what's been happening in our news and so on. And today, yeah, our headlines look like the it looks like the original accused will be dealing with him. I don't see anything new on the headlines. So today, like any other week, we look at Senzo Meyiwa saga. We go to Nandi Pamakudumana. We go to all the new ones now is the passing of Dr. Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. We say condolences, sending our condolences to the Zulu nation. And then also we look at Advocate Busisi Wemkwebane as well. And then we go check on the coup in Africa. And also another new thing on this week is there was an earthquake, a devastating earthquake in Morocco. And then also, we also go check on our former president Zuma's private prosecution saga. So he's been appealing left, right, and center, and he's been dismissed left, right, and center as well. So that's what we'll be looking at. And without wasting any time, let's get right into our news. So, on the first saga, which is our Senzo Meyiwa saga, on the Senzo Meyiwa saga, from the last time we spoke till now, there hasn't been much fireworks and so on. It's still confusing ball of confusion, if I must say so myself. So the last time we checked, it was said that the trial was postponed. One of the accused was not feeling well. That's where we left off. But the things which kind of like were confusing and also surprising was Constable Sizwe Zungu dropped a bomb shell regarding the night Senzo was killed. Apparently, Zungu said he was with all the accused on the fatal day. He said that three of the accused disappeared for a while and came back carrying two firearms, one of which belonged to him. He adds that the men were in a state of shock. So Zungu said he has been with all the five men which are standing accused on the Senzo Meyiwa case. There was even two guns, two firearms, one of which belonged to him. I don't know him as him. And he adds that the men were in a state of shock, so they were like scared or whatever. So two of the accused in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial have denied being at a hostel in Vosloorus on the day the soccer star was killed. This after the state's current witness on the stand, Constable Sizwe Zungu, testified that he was in the company of all five of the accused during a get-together hosted by his nephew on the fatal day. Accused number 2, Bongani Mdanzi, denies knowing Zungu. Earlier, the court had to warn. Okay, So as I was saying, on the Senzo Meyiwa's case, there's Constable Sizwe Zungu saying that he was with all the accused on that day in a hostel in Fort Lawrence. That day, Senzo Meyiwa was killed. And then Bongani Ntanzi, which is accused number 2, saying denies knowing Zungu. So Bongani Ntanzi doesn't say he doesn't even know Zungu. So how could the Zungu say that he has seen all of them? They have been together. So that's what's confusing. The constable, Sizwe Zungu, said he has seen all the accusers. They've been together in a braai or something which was organized, in a get-together, which was organized by his nephew. There was even firearms, 2 firearms involved there, and the the accused were in a state of shock. That's what Zungu says. Sizwe Zungu saying, and Bongani denying knowing Zungu. So that's what we are. The constable saying, yes, I know these people, and number 2, accused number 2, say, I do not know this Zungu person, never seen him. And also the other thing which took place also in the court, it says earlier the court had to warn all the accused after accused number 5, Fisokuhle Ntuli, on Thursday made a gesture similar to pulling a trigger towards Zungu. So, besides the Bongani Ntanzi denying knowing Zungu, on Thursday, Fisokuhle Ntuli apparently made a suggestion of like pulling a trigger towards Zungu's side. So yeah, and as you all know, these people, this case is just confusing. That's what's happening with Senzo Meyiwa's case. I'm not even going to try to understand what, because these Fisokuhle Ntulus and so on, they also not like really credible people. You can say maybe they are innocent or not, because even the guns, the firearms which are found, we find out the firearm has been used in several cases before the Senzo Meyiwa case and all of those. It's just a bundle of mess, but we're still following the case. Nevertheless, we're still trying to see what will the outcome be, and we're still interested to know if justice will ever prevail on Senzo. So there was Constable Sizwe Zungu this time confusing everybody, saying that I know them, and then the accuser saying, oh, hell no, we don't know you. So that's what's been happening. So from Senzo, we should go to, because in Senzo, it's just, I don't know whether by next year maybe we'll have like a conclusion of the case, or we'll have people which would be sentenced to jail. We don't know. And then on the next matter, we go to the Thabo Bester saga. On the Thabo Bester saga, we knew, as we said last week, that Dr. Nandi Pamakudumana was applying for bail. And unfortunately, she has been denied bail because she's a flight risk. That's what the magistrate said. So Magistrate Estella de Lange said Dr. Nandi Pamakudumana played a huge role in the escape of her lover Thabo Bester. This came out during her bail application in Bloemfontein Magistrate Court. The disgraced doctor will remain in custody after her bail application was rejected by the court. She is facing charges of assisting an inmate to escape from lawful custody, violation of a dead body, and defeating the ends of justice. So that's what happened with Dr. Nandipa. Unfortunately, she is going to remain in jail till the whole duration of this trial. She's not getting a bail because she's a high flight risk, as we said even last week. So she tried to pull it by playing the mummy victim, the children, and so on. As we remember, she even went as far as saying that she was taken without her will by Thabo Bester. Apparently, she was kidnapped to leave the country, so she didn't leave the country because she wanted to. So, unfortunately, she is not getting bail. She won't get bail. Although most of the other accusers on the Thabo Bester saga, yeah, they got like 10,000 rand bail and so on. But unfortunately, she's not getting to get bail. She's not leaving the jailhouse. So the next thing now, I'm not sure. I forgot to check when they will be in court again, but I think they should be in court soon. I'm lazy to go through my notes now because I know I did write somewhere when they're supposed to go back to court, but I'm lazy to go back. People, we've got notes for like 2 months already, and today we're not using the laptop or computer, we're using our book. Don't ask why, but now we move from Dr. Nandi Pamakutumana bail hearing because she didn't get bail. And the sad news which happened this week is Dr. Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi passed away at the age of 95. So may his soul rest in peace. Condolences to his family. And yeah, with the whole Dr. Mangosuthu Buthelezi passed away on Saturday at the age of 95. As you all know, that he has been very sick. He's been in and out of hospital. And yeah, so he was the longest serving member in parliament. He was the leader of the Inkatha Freedom Party and all of those. So with his passing, that's when we heard how people feel about him. So most of black people, they're still divided when it comes to reconciliation, because as much as we look at apartheid in a way that it was white people against black people, surely there was also a lot in between, because there was those Bantustans whereby there were black leaders which were taking care of the black people and so on. And yeah, apparently there was the Bupatong massacre, there was been hostile killings, there were fights between IFP and ANC, and we all know before then, even then, when there were songs which used to sing of protesting and so on, there used to be songs whereby Inkatha was on the same line as the white party. Because I know there was a lot whereby black people didn't like, majority of other tribes didn't like the Zulu tribes during the apartheid, because they kind of feel like the Zulus were working with the white people to destroy other black tribes. So there was also that, and there was a lot. So when he passes away, the people which came out to speak their mind, to share some memories, what they know about him. Some portrayed him as a villain. Most, let me not say some, most portrayed him as a villain, especially people which have been to you, which have stayed in your KZ and your KwaZulu Natals and so on, because you get to hear certain stories which I kind of feel like it's unfair, because most of the time as black people, we only get to hear the dark side or the other side when the person has already passed, or when the person is no more and the person can't really say they say or defend themselves, even if not defending themselves, try to explain what position they were in when they took those decisions and so on. I know that losing a loved one doesn't go away, and hearing excuses from somebody, so I did it because I was following orders, or I did it because if I didn't do it, they were going to do it to me. So I know it doesn't help, but it kind of sad when we hear the truth about how black people, how we still haven't reconciled within ourselves as well. And you only hear the truth when the person passed away. Now, the ones which are in pain, they when they come out and show that they don't feel any remorse and they don't feel any sadness by this person's passing away, sound like they're the bad people now, because now they're speaking ill of a dead person, or they're speaking ill of somebody which passed away. So I hope with Mangosuthu Buthelezi will teach us, whoever is still out there and we have unresolved issues, which we can organize some commissions, reconciliation commissions, and start all over again and speak your say and try to find if there's no ways to resolve the issues and not let people die and you're still bitter about what they did to you. Because we'll never be fine as South Africa. As much as it was apartheid, it was not just apartheid between black and white, it was also black on black as well. So, yeah. So it says the funeral of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, who passed away on Saturday, has been moved from Friday to Saturday. The announcement came a few hours after President Cyril Ramaphosa had declared a special official funeral category 1. And also now, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi died. Okay, that's one of the things which some of the people, I think one of his son mentioned. It says that Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi died still troubled by two issues that remain unresolved: the ongoing dispute within the Amazulu royal family and the lack of reconciliation between the IFP and the ANC. So yeah, as I was saying, that with the Amazulu royal family saga, I don't know what happened, but in the beginning, when Mrs. Zulu was supposed to be crowned the king, Prince Buthelezi was behind him all the way, was the one which was holding his hand and so on. And because with the whole dispute within the royal family saying that Mrs. Zulu shouldn't be the king, another one who should have been the king, and so on. But when it comes to upholding traditions and trying to do what's right, Buthelezi was there. But now, along the way, once Mrs. Zulu when Mrs. Zulu was the king, was crowned the king, that's when they started not to see eye to eye. And then, because there's been times whereby Prince Buthelezi has openly spoke about how he feels disrespected and not being heard, and his advice is going on to deaf ears sometimes when it comes to him and Mrs. Zulu now. And yeah, that was one of the problems. And yeah, we all know that I'm not sure how far the court case went between the royal children, but there was also the court goings from the royal children as well, still declaring the who's supposed to be the correct heir to the crown. And yeah, so that's what's happening. The Zulu kingdom was hit by another blow, and all the elders are going away and passing on. So, because now imagine, when it comes to Zulu pride, I will say Mangosuthu was one of the elders in that tribe, whether you like it or not, but he's seen kings go and he's seen kings come, and he's been holding the Zulu nation. Wait, if we just move away from the politics when it comes to the Zulu nation, when it comes to preserving the Zulu traditions and customs, yes, he's been there for them. And then now the reconciliation between the IFP and the ANC. So for Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi to say he was still troubled by the issue of a lack of reconciliation between the IFP and the ANC, I think that one, I'm sorry to say this, but it's on his court. The ball was on his court because he's been with the ANC. He's been in the government of the ANC for a long time. He was one of our first Home Affairs ministers, if I'm correct. So when it comes to IFP and ANC relationship, it's very well working in parliament, in the high positions, but on the grounds, that's where the reconciliation needed to happen. That's where the ANC leaders and the IFP leaders were supposed to be more visible together, to show the people of the IFP and to show the people of the ANC that they are united. So when it comes to the non-reconciliation between IFP and ANC, I think that one, it's the leaders which are not honest with the people. They just there to take the people's vote. That one was supposed to be made clear by the leaders of the ANC and the IFP that, look, we are not fighting and there's no more bad blood between the ANC and the IFP. We are all working together now as black people. So if the leaders missed that opportunity to go back to the people after the whole apartheid segregation, so that one is on them, believe you me. And anyway, we still saying go well, farewell. May you speak kind about us to the next life. That's it. And then we move to the next story. Our next story after Thabo Buthelezi. Where are we now? Okay. I think our next story with Dan Mangosuthu is Mkhwebane. Oh gosh. So our next story is Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane. Apparently, this week it was the end of the road for Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, and she already got, by today, I think, yeah, she already got her official removed letter from the office, from her office by the. She got her official removed from the office with a letter from the president and also a vote out from the National Assembly as well. So the voting happened on Monday, and at the National Assembly, it was it was no secret ballot because there was no point anyway. And yeah, what happened is the voting process was public, and Advocate Busima's impeachment inquiry ended with her removal from office as public protector for misconduct and incompetence following a vote by the National Assembly. So the vote was in favor of the inquiry commission. It was 318, and against it was 43, and there was one absent on those votes. So that was the outcomes of Busisiwe Mkhwebane. So she's voted out. She's removed from her office. Only maybe a few weeks left from her finishing a 7-year as a public protector, but that's the end of. But then they also believe that she might, but EFF, although saying they will follow, they will take the matter to review for a review process. That's what EFF is saying. Is she also gonna do the same, go and review the process? We don't know. Maybe not. But we'll see. So that was the end of Busisiwe Mkhwebane and the Public Protector Office. And now the question when it comes to the Office of the Public Protector, according to me, because one of the things which it was the misconduct and also incompetence. So most of the times people had a problem how she interpreted or how she understood a certain legality or law. So in terms of maybe shouldn't we look into retired judges to hold the office of the public protector for the sake of experience and so on? Because surely, as the public protector, we need somebody which can defend the people lawfully against whatever it might not go well. So if the same people which are supposed to interpret the law for us are found lacking in understanding certain laws, or are found technically incorrect sometimes when it comes to certain law decisions or law uh, matters. So how can we as the people trust that whoever is going to be appointed in that office knows what they're doing? So shouldn't we look at all retired judges to take the office of the public protector? Anyway, that's the question. But to Busisiwe Mkhwebane, good luck, sisters. Don't give up. One day is one day. So, but she did come out somewhere talking and saying how she feels about this whole treatment, what she's been through, and so on. So that's what happened with Busisiwe. And then from Busisiwe's story, we go to who is in Africa. Okay, it says here, last time we did the Gabon. Okay, Niger's coup, to just give a brief, Niger coup is still ongoing. Still the French standoff. The president is still hiding somewhere. There was the Niger coup, and the latest with the Gabon coup, which was the one which happened after the Niger. It says 8 days after the coup d'etat in Gabon. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. The country's new military leaders said deposed. President can now leave the country. Ali Bongo has been under house arrest since August 30th. He suffered a serious stroke in 2018 as difficulty moving his right leg. So in Gabon, the president, which was held prisoner in the house, can now leave. He can even go overseas if he wants to go seek for medical assessment. And then, as you all know, last week the coup, there's already a new president and so on. Apparently, in the West African, in the past, how many, 3 years, I'm not sure. There's been 7 coups, there's been 7 coups from your Burkina Faso, your Guinea, your Mali. The first coup though happened in Mali in 2020. There's been Chad, there's been Sudan, there's been your Niger and Gabon, which are the latest now. So it's been happening. This coup has been happening, and the end game, what will happen, we don't know. And yeah, hopefully we'll get more stories of the whole what's with the coups in the West Africa, and what a role are they playing when it comes to African colonizers. For example, if you're going to take out France and bring in Russia. And also, one thing we've realized is with these coups is that whatever is happening in Ukraine and Russia, it has also play a role when it comes to the colonized countries as well. Because if a certain country here in Africa is colonized by a certain country, and that country goes to war or is in conflict with another country, surely Africa do suffer. So this colonization of Africa, it does play into Western politics as well. And that's why these coups are happening now, because some wants to get rid of the French and while bringing in the Russians. And you ask yourself, which part now does the Russians play in this whole African coup? And you end up getting confused. So our leaders also, because Russia all know has been providing private military security to certain countries in Africa under the Wagner Group. And now the Wagner Group doesn't have a leader. So what's going to happen to those Russian Wagner military securities which are in Africa? Who's going to be in charge of them now? Because, yeah, there's also those questions. So it's interesting what's happening in West Africa when it comes to this, because you had to ask yourself that what's with the uprowing of coups everywhere in West Africa, and then when you hear there's the French side, and then there's the Russian side, and then the French is more in allies with your USA and so on, and Russia, we all know Russia is Russia. So we shall see how that one plays. And then also still in Africa, there was an earthquake in Morocco. It says a 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck Morocco in the city of Marrakesh, killing and injuring thousands, destroying buildings and damaging a historic Moscow. Rescue efforts are underway, where plus minus 2,600 are dead and more are still. Rescue efforts are underway, yeah, and then plus minus 2,600 confirmed death, and the death number can still rise again. So we are not done with that. And yeah, so hopefully that's what's happening. Why am I saying hopefully? So that's what happened in Morocco, people. There was an earthquake which destroyed, like if you had to see the pictures and everything, it's horrible. It's bad. People are. It's even worse than the one which saw in Turkey. I know we can't compare disasters, but then if you see that disaster in Turkey a few months ago, and this one in Morocco, it's bad, and we hope that there will be more efforts done to rescue the people, and more people will be rescued. And now when it comes to sport, in sport we are into Rugby World Cup, and yeah, the Rugby World Cup 2023 is in France, I think. And I know there was already hiccups with the airing of viewing of the rugby games and so on. But sorry. With the rugby, South Africa already played against Scotland. That's what I remember. So South Africa and Scotland played, and I think South Africa won. That's what I remember with the Rugby World Cup. And that's all we have for today. And we shall not waste any more time. And so that's all we have today, family, on our Thinking Thanks Tuesday. And thank you very much for all the love and the support. And please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share the channel to whoever you think might be interested in knowing current affairs or talking about current affairs. And we shall see each other next week. And thank you very much. I really appreciate all the love and support.